Other forms as money acquired by the bag Ghanatube. So the four breaking news na babe told you way information if Attorney General in the office Dominic Ayini and all the strong warning kese pan dia call ediama NDC for lawyers now Dominic Ayini or the strong warning pan or dia call diama NDC for lawyers now say we make sure say so be asem eba more the equity equality before the law we be di asem no krojin fair without any corruption here or see obina sem beto ho a NDC for lawyers nyina no mukwa kodi obina sem court am make sure say we be dey asem no kama na mo ensure equity odofo we na ensem a je say eboboba ewo NDC party ni mu a Dominic Ayini Attorney General wa ba abontin a wasane dia ma NDC for lawyers nyina anyo no kwa no kasa fifi via bikwete NDC for omo general secretary na adi nyina na Julius Debra chief of staff nyina so kasa do for manko ne akoti sanse mo nyina nchemu Ghanatube ma isia.
And now, Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayini, has charged legal professionals to declare it's their constitutional and moral duty to champion people-centered and justice-driven governance. Framing the law as a living instrument for social change, Dr. Ayini asserted that the living spirit of the Constitution is social justice, and lawyers must be the guardians who not only nurture that spirit, but actively sustaining it in the fight for equality and against corruption. Take a listen.
A strong message of justice, a stern warning against corruption, and a promise of hope from the government reset agenda dominated the 5th annual conference of NDC lawyers held in Kumasi. The Attorney General set the tone, framing the party lawyers' duty squarely within the context of social justice and the Constitution. Dr. Dominic Ayini called on them to be advocates of equity, defenders of constitutionalism, and voices for the voiceless through pro bono work.
When we defend the poor and vulnerable in court, we give life to Article 17's promise of equality. When we hold government accountable for misuse of public resources, we honor Article 35(8) of the Constitution, which enjoins the state to prevent corruption and the abuse of power. The bar cannot be neutral in the face of inequality. And of course, as NDC lawyers, as social democrats, we cannot and should not tolerate inequality. We must stand where justice demands.
But the mood shifted when the party's General Secretary, Fifi Kwete, took the stage. His message was blunt and serious internal warning.
Some among us are busy trying to cut deals with people who are supposed to be prosecuted. Some among us are trying to cut deals. Some are becoming conduits through whom pressure is being brought to bear on people who are supposed to do what is right. I'm not mentioning names. A time may come where we may have to. A word to the wise.
The Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, struck a more unifying and hopeful tone. He acknowledged the government appointment of many NDC lawyers.
Appointments are not merely about filling positions. They aim to instill a culture of legality, discipline, and a sense of duty in high offices. The government relies on you, the NDC lawyers, because your judgment is trusted. Your contributions here are vital, your commitment is noted, and the future is bright.
The conference, held under the theme Government Reset Agenda, laid bare the party's priorities and internal tensions as it settles into its new term of governance.
The debate surrounding organ transplantation in Ghana has sparked intense discussions. While some argue that legislation is necessary to regulate organ harvesting and storage, others fear it may lead to increased trafficking and ritual practices. There is more in the following report.
Organ transplant is a life-saving treatment for patients with end-stage organ failure. Yet in Ghana, there is currently no legal framework.
Order format in seminar a course no a year NDC form General Secretary I Fifi Viavi Kweti ono na waba abonti no say NDC mu nankasa NDC lawyers nankasa no omo ne omo a awoso omo ko jail anaso omo osi edi omo asem no omo esa nkofo no ebi mu air strike deals se na be ya yentumi enfo omo nko eye prison anase yentumi de emra no entumi ndi omo nti NDC lawyers ko ya enkofu bi mu a ya hwehwemu ehu se omo wi aban sika na bibisa no na yete se ye twe omaso no NDC lawyers ko na ene omo strike deals se na be ya omo nko prison dofo we na strong one na aye fifi bia Kweti aye general secretary for the National Democratic Congress wa ba abontia wasan ede amo na nkasa ni party for NDC lawyers a chese meso be ni na bro e wo Ghana chero fo manko na yentu ansem so e Ghanatube nema isia
to guide the process. Although debated in 2025, no law was passed. With only 299 dialysis machines and just 15 neurologists serving over 31 million people, access to care remains limited. Senior communicator for the Movement for Change, Dr. Abel Bachman, believes legislation would not only restore organ function for patients, but also help eliminate black market harvesting.
If we don't regulate it well and we allow black market to develop, what is going to happen is that people will be kidnapping people and be removing certain parts to go and sell on the black market. And so we need to consider all those things. It's not something that we need to just do it because we need it. We need to do it properly.
However, Acting Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Abraham Amaliba, warns that such laws could be exploited.
Because of the black marketing or black whatever of everything that we do in this country, the illegalities that accompany laws that are passed, we should create a fund like Get Fund, Root Fund, that will help people to get those body parts. This is because I don't trust my people. Already we have ritual killings in this country, but I think that we should hasten slowly.
The cost of kidney transplants abroad is staggering, estimated at $250,000 in Asia, while local projections suggest $21,000. Many argue that transplantation offers a more sustainable solution than lifelong dialysis. Professor Enoch Opoku-Entry emphasized the importance of the organ transplant to patients and the cost reduction of the dialysis.
The benefit is that it's going to reduce costs when we are able to have the legal framework. Cornea, if we can reduce the price to 400 instead of the 3,000 and 4,000, 400,000, 40,000 Ghana cedis, old 4 million, 40 billion, right? If you are using that money for just cornea, your eye, and you can pay just 500 Ghana cedis for it, we all say hooray to that. It doesn't matter whether you are rich or poor. Once you register that I need a donor, if you are on the list 950, you remain there. Once we get a donor and then one goes, you are coming to 949. Until it gets to your turn, you cannot leapfrog other people because they are poor.
We spoke to Ghanaians about whether they would consider becoming donors. Here's what they had to say.
Personally, I don't think it goes against my personal belief or my religious belief. I think that God made us to help one another in this life. And so if, for example, donating one of my kidneys wouldn't be too much of a problem to me, I would do it.
In Islam, as a Muslim, you are taught to help till there is no other means in saving the person.
We legislating the harvesting of body organs like the heart and essential parts of the body to also help people relive. Again, it's not a bad idea, but the only thing is that there has to be legislation from Parliament or other stakeholders. We have to have a broad spectrum of conversations to make sure that it's being regulated so that we don't have the black market, people who are doing those stuffs and ritual killings and other things on the spare or on the set.
I wouldn't mind to consider and then donate my kidney to my relatives. Depends the situation that we are in, and when I sell them out, nobody can replace my mother, my father. They're only ones. But for my wife, I can marry thousands.
Stakeholders say that establishing a transplant system in Ghana could drastically reduce costs for patients and ease the burden on the national health system.
And now let's return to our earlier story. Students of ISA Technical Institute.
When you breaking news about to if NDC for Kachi, Attorney General, any NDC for lawyers, in a strong warning, and Yasan Edia Komu, Akachi, I'm assuming in a bro or Ghanatube, for my fees and like it. No matter subscribing on my channel, my notification bonus, so I might send a bear. I bring here, be a drop content, say, woo, when I net pan washing with him for aha, and I made it same in a BC or Ghanatube. So, Macramina, Madame Nasi Brave.